Hello, wanderers of the internet. It's PaleoJohnathan, and I'm going to hop right to it because this is quite an expansive park tour that I need to get through rather quickly. Today, I am going to show you something that I spent quite a long time on because it is probably the most highly detailed park I've ever made, and one of the most, realistic feeling utilitarian style parks I've ever seen. And it's obviously like a Pennsylvania Airstrip. If you can't tell, this is modded using basically all of the major mods. Mostly though Kai's Wii Toolbox and Free Build being like the necessities. Beyond that, you could really optionally use whatever you want. I used basically all of them though. So might as well get right into it. Here we have the main airstrip. Off to the side of that, we have, with like watchtowers and plenty of floodlights overlooking it for security, the main helipad arrival point, and this would be like the control center for the Dinosaur area. I imagine that this would be like a privately owned shipping area that would ship like normal stuff, but over here, this is where all like the Dinosaur shipments would be managed. Here we have plenty of cages and stuff. This is where like dinosaurs would be hauled onto and off of planes. Obviously, there's plenty of cages there and plenty of cranes to carry them around. We also have our shelter here, actually out of bounds to where, you can place stuff using Kai's Wii Toolbox. Around the back, we have a nice stack of, storage stuff and plenty of, clutter that looks very, naturalistic, very nice. If we head across this pathway here, this is made before the Invisible Path mod is back out properly, and as such, everyone still has their feet in the ground, because I just have paths going underneath the runway. This heads all into the main facility over here. Sorry if I'm moving around a little fast, but I have places to be, into this main pathway here, but we'll get back to that in a minute. On the outskirts of the facility, we have, another area. This is where, people would be moving stuff onto and off of planes for shipment in and out. We have plenty of, newly delivered cages and storage containers. We have, a substation here that would, provide fuel or whatever. We have two small cages here that would hold dinosaurs that are about to be shipped off, or non-dinosaurs. We'll get to you in a minute. Here we have a small family of Kentrosaurus with a very large one using the Pierce skin. They live in this very small enclosure, obviously, with gates opening and closing everywhere that are very loud. Here we have a couple boxes, because I imagine that keepers would come in and tend to the animals directly instead of very hands-off care like we see in the base game. We have a custom wooden feeder box here with plenty of leaves in it. Because, as cool as it is that dinosaurs can eat off the ground in Jurassic World Evolution 2, I wish that they couldn't only eat off the ground. Over here we have Dimetrodon with very nice purple skins, and in fact they're actually two separate patterns if you look, and I think it very nicely fits for just differences between two individuals. And it looks very good. In general, I love the Dimetrodons. They're very cool. They also have, boxes here, although I imagine the keepers wouldn't be frequenting this cage quite as often. They also have, using the Invisible Feeders mod, a small pile of meat made up of multiple meats. Yes, and that's about it. And oh my gosh, they're doing the adorable little animation. Oh my gosh. Well, moving swiftly on, because I don't have time to waste. We have a hotel here sunk into the ground to look a little more naturalistic, and plenty of storage around it with shipping crates. Over here we have a overlooking tower that would, be security and manage helicopters coming in and out, as well as an alternative entrance for those with higher security clearance. Heading back over to the main entrance, we have plenty of watchtowers and floodlights everywhere. And speaking of floodlights, I have something very cool to show off later that I think you guys will quite like. Anyways, there is a restroom coming right in here because, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Heading down this pathway, we have plenty of, more floodlights as well as some, containers that would be used to take care of the dinosaurs that are about to be shipped off, of course. Heading into the main facility, I'm going to do, a big loop around, and we'll get back to the dinosaurs over here at the very end. Because the majority of this facility is really not dedicated to holding animals, as we'll see. So, if we head down this pathway here, you will see a hatchery, and in fact, the Biosyn hatchery, and it's not as it seems, as these raptor cages here might suggest. It's Biosyn mostly because I just like how the buildings look, although I also imagine that this would be, sponsored by Biosyn, as we have a couple Biosyn buildings. And this actually would not be used as a hatchery, but instead as a holding pen for high-security dinosaurs. Heading through here, there is a gate over here that obviously just opens into the side of a building. Not much I can do about that, though. And dinosaurs would go through here and emerge into a slightly less high-security area with plenty of concrete fences, double layers, and multiple, watchtowers looking in on them. And in fact, on the inside, there's even, invisible fences there. If we head around this real quick, basically, there are, this area here is, the only spot you can look in. And there is a viewing gallery over here, which I can cut to really quickly. Hold on. And this would basically have the most high-security dinosaurs, and at the moment, it contains Sornoraptors, looking very nice. This is, a very, foresty, clustery, designed exhibit with lots of foliage. You have the, scorched rocks from the Scorched Earth campaign. Lots of elephant grass. It's, long grass for dinosaurs to go in and out of. We have multiple cameras inside, as well as a few, cameras, surveillance stuff outside of the invisible fence to keep them from being attacked. We have a traditional feeder with meat being, torn off of it and thrown to the side. Obviously, you can't have people feeding raptors by hand. We have a small puddle here that they would drink from. And basically, that's it for this here. I think this turned out very nice and felt very thematic. All of the cages here are very small because dinosaurs really don't live here for long. At most, 2 weeks, I'd imagine. Or more if they're sick. Here we have our main electricity area with multiple substations, Biosyn and DFW electric plants to make one, whole facility here. If we just cut through here, we have the main, staff area of the park, as well as the edge of this aviary. And I'll go through that. Over here we have a heat area, heat-seeking thing for security outside of the fence. We also have a gravel path leading to this watchtower here, overlooking the edge, just in case of poachers. We have the science building here that is attached to the aviary as a Biosyn-sponsored aviary research facility, I imagine. If we travel through here, we have a whole lot of very nice-looking clutter, and this is why I made this park, look at, this area right here, or this area right here, and, tell me that it isn't, leaps and bounds above what we had at, not even, Jurassic World Evolution 1, Update 1, but, just without mods for this game. I'm glad that I spent so much time working on this game without mods, but, working on it with mods is very awesome. Beyond that, we have, if we travel around right past the aviary, we have fenced in a very large storage facility managed once again by Biosyn and their tunnel system. Here we would have, the most stuff being shipped in and out. This would be deep storage for, building materials, and would be, the heart of the operations here. Just across the street, we have a couple trailers for, agents that would live on site. Here we have ranger and veterinarian facilities. Of course, merged together into one very nice looking building, as well as these bathrooms here, which are kind of meant to be bathrooms, but really can be whatever you'd think they are. I mostly put them here for this vending machine, actually, and I'm not joking. I hope they eventually get to be a decoration alongside like benches and bins. We have a few storage cages, as well as you can see, the cars are currently not here, as they are traveling around the park to underground like checkpoints to like simulate driving around and stuff. Beyond that, we have with a like watchtower overlooking it and a stego cage, a small like research or quarantine pen for when dinosaurs first arrive to make sure they're not ill. Inside of it is currently a stegosaurus. Look at him. Beautiful. And even like the ground is paved in here. Luckily, he has a pile of leaves to keep him company, not comfortable. Although also both is true. And obviously, like once there's space, he would be, and that he's ensured that he is not ill, he would be shipped off to the main dinosaur holding area over there. We also have a few science centers here as like a research facility. And they would mostly service like, the veterinarians and this aviary here, which I'll just do like a quick round. One thing I used a lot in this park is like pylons as decoration, and I think they turned out very nice looking. If we take a look at the aviary, we have multiple buildings heading in and out of it, and this aviary is very cool, okay? Let me show you. So it uses a lot of like biosyn foliage and plants, which turned out very nice looking, if I do say so myself. It also has like pathways traveling in and out of it into towers. This one right here is on the ground, which it looks very cool, and it overlooks this pond here, which I'll get to later. Above it, we have a like mesh cage, and on top of it sits are two Quetzalcoatluses that are currently here. Because what I realized is that Quetzalcoatluses can only land on certain things, and as such, you can control their landing spots to make them make like very cool poses like this. Obviously, only using mods, of course. And you could overlook them in this like cage right here. Now, obviously, this is very small for how many pterosaurs are in here. But, it's only a temporary facility that they would be at for a very short time. So, I think it's fine. Also living in here, we have some JP3 raptors and some, if I can find some, cotton candy flavored Sungaripteruses. I say that because they're like a nice little light blue and pink colors. Heading up this tower here, we have our, like, from the air biosyn viewing tower, from which, we would observe dinosaurs. Not dinosaurs. My brain is moving faster than my mouth, or my mouth is moving faster than my brain. A pretty concrete example right there. Where we would observe the pterosaurs. This would be as they fly, of course. And the last detail here, oh yeah, also I used the mossy rocks from biosyn using mods. Here we have a nice pond filled with fish, because using the invisible feeders mod and cramming together multiple fish feeders in like a weird patterning, you can create what looks like a rather normal school of fish. And you can barely tell that it's just multiple circular fish areas. They also clip between each other rather often. But, you can't have everything. Moving back over to here, we have the last and the most important facility in the park, or transfer facility, and that would be the dinosaur storage. They live in very small, quaint things with, like, feeders custom made. Here we have a Carnotaurus with a very unique looking skin. Look at him. Very cool. If we move over to the next one, we have 3 biosyn style Parasaurolophus, looking very nice, if I do say so myself, with like a nice little puddle here. Next one over, we have a couple of adorable Minmies, all mango flavored with like the orange and green. And next over, we have an Edmontosaurus with a kind of ugly looking skin. Did not turn out as much as I hoped. The head looks very cool, but it just gets worse and worse as you move to the back. The tail looks very ugly. And last but not least, we have a very nice looking Amargasaurus. That is the bulk of the facility, but, you know, have you really seen it? If you haven't seen it, at nighttime, if I apply that real quick, look at this. You know, not to toot my own horn, but I think this is genuinely one of the most, like, well designed. I don't know. It looks very nice. I like it. Okay. It turned out great. I'll just kind of walk through it real quick at nighttime. It obviously is all lit up by floodlights. And I don't know. It just feels like, you know, I could be here. This feels like a real place. You know? I think it is one of the most immersive parks that has been made in Jurassic World Evolution 2. You know, I think it is truly something rather cool. I'll just kind of speed up a bit and give you just a little bit more, like on-the-ground footage, even if I'm sprinting around at supersonic speeds. Beyond that, if you look over at the tree line, you might notice this weird clearing here. And if we take a look down into it, seems that there is a camouflaged building. And this light post here has been knocked down and, like, pulled up a bit of dirt with it. And this fence here is being destroyed, because it seems that this facility is under attack from some rustlers, which I just so happen to know are in a camp out here. They have multiple tents, obviously, and like a small clearing that is in a ditch. Not like a ditch, you know, under, in a hole, so that it's not immediately visible from the air. And in here they have like multiple cages for stealing dinosaurs, as well as a car with currently the only 2 smugglers in it. That's about all I have to show off. You know, I think this looks very cool. Hopefully you enjoyed looking at it. I'm sorry that the pace of this video is so rushed. I have recorded this so many times and ran into multiple issues, and I just need to get it done because I am about to go somewhere for a couple days, and as such need to have videos pre-recorded. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know I enjoyed making it, and not so much recording it. Hopefully you will watch the next park tour. I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.